Hello and welcome to Barbara's podcast. This is the show for women, all about health, nutrition, and wellness. It's the show that will empower you and inspire you to create a healthier lifestyle.
Well, hello and welcome. I'm Barbara Carafocus, and I'm excited to introduce Sharon Sammut, who's a registered holistic health practitioner, PSYCH-K facilitator, and a seasoned entrepreneur. So welcome, Sharon.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for having me today.
It's my pleasure. Well, let's start with the basics. So Sharon, can you share your journey and how that led you to become a registered holistic health practitioner and PSYCH-K facilitator?
Yeah, absolutely. I started my journey, as you mentioned, in business. My husband and I had started a construction company 18 years ago, a long time ago, and it is quite an extensive story, so I'm going to condense it as best I can because I'm quite conscious of the time. So yes, we're doing that for a very, very long time, and about 6 or so years ago, I wasn't feeling great. I was putting everything into the business, into the cash flow, and I was neglecting my own self-care, my relationships. So basically, I was in my masculine energy of go, 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 do. And I missed the balance, and I went down the path where I felt like I needed to do something different. I felt like that company at the time wasn't really giving me what my soul was yearning for. And the reason I knew that is because every time I went into the office, I didn't feel very well. I had feelings that I kept ignoring, pushing aside. I wasn't connected intuitively whatsoever. And I discovered in my little searching, I discovered PSYCH-K and the subconscious mind. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I don't even think I knew really what a subconscious mind was all about back then. So I delved into the world of PSYCH-K. Then I went on from there. I was still in the business at this time, obviously. So just experimenting, working one-on-one with people part-time. Then I went down the road and I discovered Quantum University, and I saw their program, and I just thought, this was it for me. You know, in my mid-40s, of course, my limitations were kicking in. You can't, you're too old, why would you? You're already successful. You know, all those things that we tell ourselves about why we shouldn't. And then one day I just hit enroll, and here I am. So that was pretty much over COVID. So I was doing PSYCH-K prior to that with clients, but the holistic health, there was a lot of downtime here in Victoria, so it was a perfect opportunity. Rather than sitting in the misery of the world,
Yeah.
I completed a degree. I was around 40, maybe 45, 46 when I completed it. So, and ever since then, my journey has been completely different. I still have a lot to do with investments and real estate and that side of things, but my passion and my soul, my mission right now is to share the journey of life balance, living in abundance across health, wealth, and relationships, taking back our power, sharing that the power we need is within us. We just need to reignite that.
Absolutely. And it's never too late to make these changes.
No. I think, again, that's another limitation, isn't it? That we tell ourselves about age. You're either too young or you're too old, or all these stories that we tell ourselves, and none of it's true.
No, it's not. So is that what inspired you to create the EmpowerHer 5-step program?
Correct. So and then I went on to working a lot of one-on-one work, and then it was more so I need to touch more people, connect with more people. Then I have the capacity to do so on a one-on-one basis in my local town, and that's when I came up with the concept of EmpowerHer, the 5-step system, and now that actual program is part of a community. So it's EmpowerHer, the Wellness Collective. That program is the foundation of the community, and inside that community there is just so much to offer at an amazing price. It's just everything I love, and I'm sharing it with everyone.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Well, could you tell us a little bit more about the EmpowerHer program and how it can help individuals gain clarity and direction in their lives, especially if they're feeling a bit lost or they don't have that little bit of extra inner strength to get a move on, to make that change?
Yeah, and again, this is why I formed the community as well, because it's really about the program, obviously, and I'll explain the steps in shortly, but it's also about having the support of like-minded people around you that are keeping you at the frequency of whatever it is you are working on in your life, because often when we change,
yes,
our circle doesn't often know who we are anymore, and it can be at times negative, and people can pass judgment because they're not sure who they're seeing anymore. So being part of a community is really important, of people in the same consciousness who understand we're all going through a similar transformation. But in general, the EmpowerHer program, the 5-step system, is about defining what it is you want to be working on in this moment, whether it be in your health, in your wealth, in your relationships. The journey is individual for each and every one of us. We are all at different points in our life. So there's meditations in there that take us through defining what that moment is for us, what that looks like for us as an individual. Okay. And then it's about being the thought leader and moving with conscious intention towards whatever it is we are working on, whether it be in our health, wealth, or relationships. It can be meeting a partner, it can be getting healthy, it can be starting a new business, it can be, for some people, it's as simple as going and starting a new exercise that they haven't felt comfortable doing. So there's the information in there that supports you on moving consciously. There's theta brainwave meditation in there too, which I've found so powerful. And theta, it's self-hypnosis. So you don't have to go to a hypnotist. You can actually just listen to my meditation that I created through my university and through my journey. And this theta stage is the brainwave just before we are falling asleep. And it's the time that the subconscious mind is most suggestible. So whatever it is we are telling ourselves at that moment is what we're going to wake up doing in the morning. So the last 5 minutes before bed, whatever it is you're thinking about is what you're going to be waking up thinking about, pretty much. So you would know, I think we all would have experienced, we go to bed with a problem. Yeah. We wake up thinking about that exact same problem. And that's how it is. So what we're doing is we're shifting that. We are telling ourselves who we want to be. We want to be solution-based instead of being problem-based, and we're waking up that way in the morning. And that literally, those self-hypnosis changed my life. I was very much problem-based. In my business, I always saw problem. And I was always about tackling the problem. And then I shifted my mindset to be more in line, what's the solution? And that's a major shift in your journey, because then your perception is changing. And when your perception changes, your life changes, everything changes. So that's the first part of the program. Then we move on to understanding the holistic health model, where we are looking at ourselves from a whole person perspective: spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. So we're just understanding, we're not going deep here. This is very foundational. Yes. We're just understanding what it means, what the spiritual body means, what the mental body, emotional and physical bodies mean, and having these in alignment. And again, knowing this is balance. So balancing, for me, I'll use myself as an example. I was really good at business. Yes. back before I discovered all this, but my relationships and self-care took a back seat. So this is a way we find the balance so we can be abundant and successful in all areas of life, because that's real success, isn't it? Making just money and then everything else falling apart is not really success, in my opinion, and the opinions the people I work with. So that's that part. So we look at the holistic health model, and then we're looking at how to recognize those limitations, those subconscious limitations that we've briefly touched on already, how to recognize them when they come up, and the tools to shift them. And that allows us to stay at the frequency of our desire, to align with and keep on aligning with that desire, because often we can start something and then we have a thought which generates the emotion and the action, and then we stop doing that thing because we don't know how to get past these repeated thoughts we're having. So there's some tools in there to allow you to recognize and shift those limitations. And then it's about being that person in the present moment. So being in the energy of the person you're creating, pretty much. So you be her now. It's like, see it as already done. So here we are making subtle changes to our lifestyle, recognizing where we can improve our lifestyle choices a little bit, whether it be changing some food, walking more in nature, maybe, just some little subtle changes that start that change process happening. And then it's about, at the end of the program, it's about a 4-week challenge, and we say yes to at least one new thing every week, and this keeps us open to new possibilities. And then you've got the support of the community to see you through this. So yeah, it's very powerful.
Which the support of the community is very important, I think.
I do too. And I think that was when I was just doing the program. It was a VIP program. It was like, I don't want people feeling like, what next? So I've done this and then what? It's just, I just found that was the missing piece. And now I feel like it's all there in support to keep the individual at the frequency and traveling towards their path on their road with support of people that are doing the same thing. I think it's really important.
Just a little question here, because it's a debate I have with quite a few people who are successful, and it may be one of their limiting beliefs. I'm not sure, but it's one of the discussions that comes up quite often, and they're saying, well, no, there is no such thing as balance, or you can't have it all. You can't have good health and a good balanced life. It's either you're successful and something's got to give. So
yeah, it's a perception.
It's a perception, yeah.
Yeah, and there are going to be times that you might have to go away for work and not be able to exercise, or might be able to take your kids with you, whatever it be. There are going to be those times, but then it's also about managing those times, because again, I'll speak for myself. I knew that I was very sick, and the company we were running wasn't a small company. It was a multi-million-dollar turnover company, turning over multi-millions of dollars. So it wasn't like it was just a small business, but I never felt that I was successful. I always felt like there was something missing in my life, and I didn't want to live that way, because to me, if I was making money, like I said, but I was unhealthy, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? And for you to think that you can't have it all when abundance is our birthright, then that's just a limiting perception for you, or perhaps laziness.
Yeah. No,
Maybe.
I absolutely agree with you. It's a perception, and there's, certainly there's some limiting beliefs, but it's also, society as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And women, and this is a conversation that's been coming up lately a lot, actually, and it is a lot to do with the imbalance of the feminine and the masculine as well. Like women are having to take on many roles now.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do really, really feel like we just can't do it all. It's too much.
Yes.
So then it's about assessing what it is we can shift to make us feel more aligned and more abundant. Because when I started connecting more with my health and my children, life was just so much fuller, and I felt so much more capable of accomplishing everything because I was feeling whole as a person. I wasn't whole. Making money alone, it's important, because on the opposing side, giving everything to, say, your kids and not doing anything for yourself is hard too, because you then again feel like there's something missing. Or if you're neglecting your self-care, you're going to feel like there's something missing. So for me, it's about, learning, and it's not going to be a skill that's acquired in a day or two. And that's why I say to my members, it takes about 12 weeks. It's about implementing those daily habits every day that create those lasting change. So it's learning a little bit every day, and that's what forms the lasting change. But yes, I do believe wholeheartedly, for myself and for the people that I work with, that you can be abundant in all areas of life. And it is our birthright. It's the way we're supposed to be living.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I always say, well, you need, at some point, you need to take a step back and be the observer and look in. And I call it life restructuring. You look at all areas of your life, whether it's relationships with your kids or your husband or your work, your exercise, your nutrition, and see which part's not working, and then see what you can do about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in a nutshell, that's what the program is teaching. So looking at that area, that shift that you want to make in one area of life. And I know what I found as well, when I started working on one thing, other things fell in alignment. So it's like meditation. Yeah, once you start working on the one thing, you start really connecting with your truth and your authenticity, your purpose, what drives you, what makes you happy. It's like then the other things start falling into place, and then it becomes quite an easy process, because then it becomes just a part of who you are as well, those things.
Because I think if you start feeling better mentally, physically, you've got more energy, you feel more alive, you're happier. It's an upward spiral instead of a downward spiral.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is as well is that when people start working on these sorts of things, you notice that they always expect to be happy, but there are going to be times that life's going to always be challenging. It's just about how to deal with those. And that's what I was saying about those theta meditations being more solution-based than problem-based. Again, your perception on the learning, but it's never really going to be linear. And the more you grow, just like the more businesses you take on, the more obstacles you're going to see. But it's all in your perception of what those things are. Is it a problem, or is it a lesson? If we start seeing things more of a lesson, life can be easier. But again, it's everything is in our perception. Absolutely.
Well, I think until the day we die, there will always be obstacles, because it's life.
Growth, isn't it? Really.
Growth, yeah. So there's no avoiding that.
No. But again, it's in your perception, isn't it? Because it's how you see everything.
Yeah.
You can be a little bit moody and everything will look like a problem. Let's be realistic. Everything will look like a problem. But then it's just about, I use a really effective tool that actually we were speaking about this morning, and I was actually interviewing John White from Heart Math Institute. I don't know if you know who they are, but they always do. They talk about the heart-brain coherence, and I use that tool a lot, because within 1 minute you have the ability to completely shift your energy. For example, a really simple example, you could receive an email
Yes.
And that email might be annoying, it might hurt you, upset you, whatever it be. And before I reply to that email, I drop into my heart, I practice heart-brain coherence. And there is, if people just go onto my page, there's a description on how to do this. It's very, very simple. But I drop into my heart space. I'm present in my heart space. I connect my heart and my brain. And then I reply. Okay. And the outcome looks very different. So if I would have just reacted, that's going to be one form of email, as opposed to really dropping into my heart space, taking a moment and then replying. It looks very different. So very, very important that, we have these little tools that help us along the way too.
Yeah. I call it my toolbox. That
Absolutely.
over the years, I've created my little toolbox. So if something comes up, whatever life event, I go into my toolbox. And, okay, I also use affirmations and meditations, and it's self-soothing strategies or techniques or whatever it may be.
Yeah. Well, this is holistic health. This is what it's all about. And whatever works for you, whatever resonates with you. But it really is about coming back to yourself and being present, isn't it?
Yes.
Finding how you feel, connecting with your intuition. These are some really important things that we need to grasp more of, I think, especially as women, getting back to that core, because we are naturally intuitive.
Yes.
So I think, we just need to reconnect with that part of us as well.
Naturally intuitive, and also we're givers. So it's very easy for us to lose ourselves in, giving to everyone else and not ourselves. So
100%. We've got to put ourselves first. And this is a topic I speak often about. It's not to feel guilty. No. Because when you feel good and when you look after yourself, instantly everyone around you feels good. So really, when you are taking care of yourself, you're taking care of everyone else too, because our energy ripples. It just doesn't stop with us. It ripples beyond us, and people feel that. And my kids, when I'm in a good mood, my kids know I'm in a good mood. When mum's in a bad mood, they know that too.
They pick up on it really fast.
Yeah, so and that's just it. Don't feel guilty for taking that time for yourself, because we do, right? Yeah. We feel, oh no, I shouldn't go to yoga, or oh no, I shouldn't go for that walk. My son needs to help with his homework, or whatever it be. But no, actually, I'll go for a walk and then I'll come back and do that, because actually I'm going to feel better when I get back.
And you'll be calmer, and have more patience.
100%. And these are the simple things that when you're just go all the time, that you forget about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Sharon, in closing, where can our listeners get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So jump onto my Instagram page. I think that's the easiest. And then there's links there that will take you everywhere else. So it's just _Sammut, so SHARON_Sammut, SAMMUT. So Sharon Sammut, Holistic Health Practitioner. Jump on there, ask me any questions. There's all the information. There's a free training I have on there that's called Reclaim Your Mind and Whole Health. And that takes you through creating a future reality protocol. And it tells you all about EmpowerHer, the Wellness Collective as well. So it's about a 45-minute workshop. And it's got a lot of information in there. And you can jump on the link in the bio, and it'll take you straight to that training.
Okay. Well, thank you, Sharon, for sharing your incredible insights and your inspiring journey with us. And I'm sure for empowering so many women to improve their lives. It's been an absolute pleasure having you. I'm sure we could have spoken for much, much longer.
I feel that we could have, Barbara.
Yeah, I know. But busy mums, we keep it short and sweet.
I think that's perfect. Thank you so much for having me today.
It's my pleasure, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Barbara's podcast. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter or e-courses. Celebrate life, and see you at the next episode.